What's the difference between the Eggo, the Golden Calf, and the Mishkan, the building of the sanctuary? Our rabbis tell us that God is not found in the field like Yitzchak, who encountered God in the field. God is not found on the mountaintop like Avraham found God. God is found in a bayit, in a house, like Yaakov, who said, "This is the house of God." What is the significance of a house? On the one hand, a house means God is in a particular place, not everywhere, which might make God easier to encounter, might make God harder to encounter. On the second hand, more importantly, is that a house is something that we have to build. A house doesn't just exist. We have to invest our energy, our work, our effort, our neshama into constructing and creating something. And if that work is devoted towards a holy task, a holy goal, then that work becomes holy and sanctified work. Nothing we value in this world do we get for free. We value what we invest in, what we create, what we build. The actual Har Sinai, once God departed from it, has no remaining sanctity, even though it was the greatest theophany. Whereas the Beit HaMikdash that we built on the Temple Mount, that retains its sanctity even after the Beit HaMikdash is destroyed. Something we invested our hearts and lives and energy to, that sanctity remains, and it remains powerful forever. So that's number one. We create it, and it is something holy. But number two is even more important. Number two is that a house is not an idol. An idol we create, and it's solid. It's the thing itself. A house is just walls. A house creates space. An idol is a projection of ourselves into the world, and we wind up worshiping that projection. A house creates openness. It allows God to enter. It allows us to enter. After all that building, the building created a context into which the other can enter in. It allows us to stop building. It tells us stop and be mitzamtzein, pull back. That's why a house is not an idol, because a house is where you encounter the other. This is true about our relationship to others as well. Do we invest in those relationships to see a reflection of ourselves, or do we invest in order to pull back and to allow a true encounter to occur? And this is the challenge in the time of COVID. We're so much around one another that maybe we're just bumping into one another. And we have to do that work of finding ways to pull back and create that space to allow the others to enter. Shabbat Shalom.